Hey Evil Dead fans, just another quick tutorial on how to make Ash's chainsaw hand from Ash vs. Evil Dead. If I remember right, this is tutorial number 14. Now we're going to center this around filler pieces. Now if you look at this piece right here, you can't see the inside of it. It's completely closed in. Now the way you do it's very simple. You get a piece of cardboard. This is from an old beer box. What I suggest first is to actually get a piece of paper or construction paper, and you want to actually measure a round piece that fits in here along these edges, this protruding edge, all the way around. Once you've done that, you want to cut a hole in the center big enough so this can still spin. Just make sure that it still covers all the gaps. Then after you're done, put it on construction paper, trace it onto a piece of cardboard, and then cut it out, and then paint the side you're going to see through the gaps black. You can paint this side if you want to, but who cares? Nobody's ever going to see it. That's why we're getting rid of gaps. Now, you can use foam or anything else to do this, metal. I wouldn't suggest metal so much because you can cut your hand on it once you get your hand inside with sharp edges, so it's a lot of work on pulling the edges back. So cardboard is a really good alternative. And you want something that will work with super glue. So once I got it, what I do is I just put super glue all along the edges it's gonna go. Make sure you don't get it running in here or onto here, so you don't stop. So you make sure you don't stop it from turning. Just hold it in there for about 2 minutes and just leave it alone. Should be fine. Now, when you start doing your black on the outside, you definitely want to go over it on the inside again through these gaps, because it makes it look really gunked up. Gives it a nice used look. That'll take you about half hour. Now, I'm going to use this body here, and it is just funky and gunked up, because the other one's getting ready for paint. Now, you got this gap here. Now, what we're going to worry about is covering up the inside of this. You got to remember, the chainsaw bar is going to be on the outside. So, what you need to do is do the same thing. Make a stencil all the way around from the top to the bottom to here, but leave a little extra over here. Make it out of construction paper or whatever you want to use. You're going to have to bend it. Now, if you've done that, you're going to end up with something like this. This right here is a gap for this bump, and this right here is a gap for the bracket holding on the chainsaw bar. Now, this hole here matches up with the hole for the bracket that holds the gears on. So the gears are going to be held on the bracket, and behind the bracket's going to be this piece here. Now, you might still have a little bit of a gap here, so you can clear it and clear the bracket here. That's okay. You're never going to see that because the chainsaw bar is going to be in front of it. And there's going to be no sunlight coming through the other side, so you'll never see a gap when it's finally installed. Now, the reason why you want to curl this around, like if you've done the method that I've done where you kind of hack this off a little bit, is because I don't want a sharp edge hitting my hand. Because if you just make a cover from here to here, you're still going to have that sharp edge hanging out, and you're going to cut the crap out of your hand. I've done it before. It sucks. Best thing to do is curl it around. And I just put a little notch in it right here, because where that other bolt that holds that bracket that holds the bar in is going to attach onto it. So when this is on, it's going to look like this right here. If I can get that sucker in there. There we go. See how there's a little gap right there? Never going to see it. It's going to be covered. Let me turn it around and push it back. Well, it's kind of hard doing this one-handed, so I'm sorry. So yeah, you can still see a little bit of a gap there. But like I said, that chainsaw bar is going to be covering that completely. And there's going to be no daylight through the other side. So you're never going to see it. So if you cut a little too much out like that, that's okay. And you got to remember that chainsaw bracket's going to be coming right through that slot. So that's going to be covered up. And then on this side, you see how it curls in? Now, that bracket hole, or that hole for the bracket, or the bolt that holds on the bracket is going to be right through there. So I'm going to just screw it through there. And you can say, well, now you're going to see this. No, you won't. Because the piece that fits in here that has the exhaust on it is going to be over top of it. So you're never going to see this at all. So, and when you put on the bar, the blade, and everything in the brackets, it's a little tedious to get it just right, because all those components have to fit together. Once that's on, it goes real smooth. And like I said, this edge right here is what you might feel when you put your hand in. It's not sharp, nice and smooth. And I did hack this off. You don't have to. I did, just so if I want to, I can actually bend this in a little further on this edge if I really, really want to. But I've tested it out and it's right where I want it to be. So that's how you fill in those gaps. And to do this correctly, do it as many times as you need to do it. But if you've done it before, or if you've done something similar, it might take you just a couple hours. And you don't want to make extra holes to mount this, because you don't want a bunch of holes sticking out of here or here. And I've seen people where they just mount the blade against the body, and I'm sorry, that looks like crap. I want it to look like it actually works. And that's what I'm trying to provide for you guys. Something that looks like it actually works. Something that you can be proud of and say, hey, this looks good. Because I've seen so many videos where a lot of people hide the view over here because there's gaps and there's something funky there. I did see one where a guy used wing nuts to hold in the bar. I was like, that's a joke, isn't it? Because everything else looked cool except for that. That just threw it off for me. So I would never do that. Okay, and before I go, I just want to let you guys know I appreciate the comments and facts about Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, or Ash vs. Evil Dead that you guys have been putting in there. Especially one guy, I can't remember your name, I'm sorry, talked about on the video about Ash's gun, or his double barrel shotgun being longer in Army of Darkness. You know, I appreciate that comment. And another comment about why was the chainsaw different. Another guy made that. I'd like those comments. If there's a fact I don't know, or if I can look into a little more and say, okay, either you're right, you're wrong, or I didn't know that, or maybe I'll look into it a little more and find out what's going on with it. I love those comments. And if you're new to the channel and you want to know a little bit more facts, read the comments. There's a lot of people who put facts in the comments, and I appreciate that. And it's nice to hear from other people who love Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, or Ash vs. Evil Dead as much as I do. So I thank you guys, and stay tuned. This is almost done. You guys have a great day. Bye.